CrisisDev, and this time we have a really exciting story in person today, where we're going to talk a lot about trees. And maybe we can just start off by introducing you and introduce a bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Chiagozie. I am from Nigeria, and I'm also currently the chairperson of the Global Youth Board of Plan for the Planet initiative. At Plan for the Planet, we are currently working on a campaign to plant 1 trillion trees across the world by 2030 to reduce global carbon emission by 25% annually, because we think this is the most concrete and the most ambitious way through which we can achieve the Paris Agreement, at least more than the member states are committing.
Brilliant. And then maybe we can talk a bit about, because we already had a bit of a chat before about how it all started, and maybe just like a bit of the story behind, because I think it's very fascinating.
Yeah, sure. So Plant for the Planet was started by a young 9-year-old, of course not 9 this time, but as of then in 2007, he was 9 in Germany, Felix. He was in class listening to his teacher talk about the climate crisis and also how trees can be an incredible tool to solve them. And he read up for his presentation for the next class about trees, and also came across Wangari Maathai, the late Nobel laureate, how she set up an organization called the Green Belt Movement, who were planting trees across Kenya, then some millions of trees across Kenya. And he was really inspired how this could be a tool. And in his next presentation, he tried to motivate students of the class that they actually can take action by planting trees through their numbers. That if each of them can plant so and so number of trees, they would make an incredible movement, by the next year and the years after. And so after basically 1 year, they already planted 150,000 trees. They were getting a lot of media attention. It grew beyond just a class presentation. He was being invited, to several places to come and present this idea. So it became such a movement that now currently is in over 83 countries. We have ambassadors in over 120 countries, but we have over 83,000 climate justice ambassadors already trained. As we plant trees also, we do academies for young people to understand what the climate crisis is, how they can take action, and they graduate from that academy to become climate justice ambassadors. And now currently, our big deal is to plant 1 trillion trees, of course, which we recognize we cannot do alone, and that's why we've built a global common platform called the Trillion Trees app, where we can bring tree planting organizations together to support us in planting these trees, and where they can also receive donations straight to them. Maybe I can talk to you about that a lot later. But also, Wangari Maathai was a huge inspiration behind this. In 2011, she and the UN Environment handed over officially the Billion Trees campaign to Plant for the Planet, and also the official tree count of the UN is with Plant for the Planet. So we are keeping count of the number of trees planted across the world currently, officially for the UN.
Wow. Because I just downloaded the app just before, right? I had a bit of a look, and I was super amazed to see that already 13 billion trees planted.
Absolutely.
Which is like an incredible number.
Absolutely. And then there's also the research which we're collaborating with Crowder Lab that came out recently that estimates that currently in the world we have about 3 trillion trees, but we have space without affecting existing forests to add additional 1 trillion trees. That's the scientific backing for our afforestation goals, which is of course the most ambitious afforestation goal now. And then the app is quite exciting. We wanted to make it a lot easier for everybody to be a part of climate action, because a lot of excuses will be, oh, what can I do? When can I do it? I have a paid job. I need to come out and plant. I need to go to the streets, this and that. So we've brought this app as a solution to everyone, that you can, why even just getting to sleep in your bed, just do a click and we're planting the trees for you. In our own, because on the platform, we have a lot of planting projects. So a lot of organizations, a lot of tree planting organizations have registered on our platform to be able to access financing, donations to plant in their various locations. So you can just look at the app and see, I want to plant in Brazil, I want to plant in Nigeria, I want to plant in Germany, or in Mexico, you see a project in your country, just donate to that project. It goes 100% to the organization. It does not come to us. We're just providing this platform as a global commons so everyone can use and be able to, amplify their climate action. Because we know a lot of countries, a lot of organizations in the global south do not have a website. They do not have, the tools to verify as much as we do, because also you use satellite imagery to verify the trees to know where they are. So we help them with this component, and they can only just provide an exciting project which is verifiable, which is concrete, and we can have it on the platform and people can donate straight to them. But we also have our own plantation in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, where the trees there have 94% survival rate. That is the best rate that we know so far in the world, because we have dedicated workers. We have over 100 employees there that are working steadily on this. We have engineers who are experts in the project. And we even have other co-benefits that are arising from this plantation. There's a beehive just beside the plantation where the workers are now exploring to boost also their income. Our employees in that region of Mexico have the best social security, the best salaries in that area. So it's quite exciting how you have this co-benefit mixing green economy, providing jobs, providing livelihood, and solving the climate crisis. It's really exciting for us.
Yeah, super exciting. Also, I think maybe two questions on this one would be, because I think it's like about $1 or something per tree, or euro, like different currencies.
Yeah.
And so the two things would be, one is it possible to get like carbon offset of any of these? Is this yet, or is it something you look into? Or if an organization wants to carbon offset, let's say their business operations or something, could they do it through your app, or?
Absolutely, we do that. We do the climate neutrality project where companies can offset, using the tree planting app. Of course, definitely we do that. We also give certification for that. Okay. So that is actually at the core of what we do. But we also have to show that those companies are really committed to making these changes and not just greenwashing. We have to be sure about that, to verify that this company has concrete commitment to go sustainable, and they're doing this as part of their efforts to go green. So of course we do that to offset carbon emission. Of course, for even our staff, sometimes we don't fly around. We try to use the train as much as possible. Of course, it's more convenient when you're in Europe. Maybe when you're in somewhere in Africa, it's not that convenient. So we also encourage organizations to offset the travels, and a lot of them are doing it through our platform. And for the prices, they vary. It depends on the project you want. For our own plantation, is like €1 per tree in the Yucatan Peninsula, but there are ones that are $0.7. There are ones that are €3, some are $10. So it depends on where, and because it's cost intensive to pay the workers and also to take care of the trees. It's not just enough to just plant trees. Everybody can do that. Is to plant them, take care of them, and make sure they grow to replace the already deforested areas. So in planting trees, we're bridging, we're restoring forest, we're afforesting, but also more importantly, we're restoring degraded lands, restoring biodiversity, ensuring that desert encroachment is not something we are going to face in these areas, and also providing job and livelihood through this. With also gender integration, and we make sure that we have an equal opportunity employing scheme also, that in those rural areas, in those remote areas, especially in the global south, that women are much more involved in this process, because they hold the key to a lot of trickling down of these processes.
Brilliant, yeah. That's super fascinating. I think it's also kind of amazing how it all started with like this 9-year-old, right? So how long ago is this again now, like roughly?
Yeah, that was since 2007. So now it's been
12 years. Or something,
yeah,
right?
so that is of course way grown up now.
But still, like it's so incredible to see though how it started, right? Like it started with something. Someone has one idea, and it's like concerned about one thing, and then just starts it, and suddenly, as you say, you have hundreds of people involved. There's like a big operation. I think it's probably funded usually by donations as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the app, I saw that as well.
Absolutely, and it shows the incredible power that young people have in taking their destiny, their career, their future into their hands. Yeah. So you saw with Felix, what has happened way back. It's really incredible how he was able to use his young age, the enthusiasm and motivation, then to walk into industries, into conferences to speak and convince people. Of course, there were quite some setbacks, but he kept pushing, and now it's a truly global movement with a lot of people, a lot of impact, a lot of belief that is making global scale. It's also similar to what Greta is doing. Greta started last year striking alone outside her school. Then she comes to COP and then boom, everything changes now. You know, it's a huge global movement. You know, so it's young people have done an incredible amount of work in mobilizing action and also implementing for climate change. I wish we had a similar or even half of such commitments from our member states. The world would be a lot better.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks so much for sharing this really impressive and exciting, but also really touching story, I think, of like how the youth can really have a massive impact.
Absolutely. It's absolutely my pleasure. The app is available online for Android and Apple, iOS, Windows. It's just a Trillion Trees app. You can just go and download from any platform.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. Thank you.